What's going on, NBA fans? Hey, first of all, I know you guys are wondering who the hell this dude over to my right is. That's my brother JB in the building. He'll be here a lot more often. Me and JB have done tons of podcasts together, man. And so you guys are going to love him. But on today's episode of NBA Central, we'll be talking about and asking, are we finally seeing the decline of LeBron James? What's going on? What's more surprising, the 76ers struggles or the Trailblazers success? And have we lost all hope for Ben Simmons? We'll get into all that and more on today's episode of NBA Central.
The number one place for your daily basketball fix, NBA Central. Hosted by the one and only CEO Haize.
JB, first of all, before we start the episode today, I know everybody's wondering who the hell you are. So tell them a little bit about yourself before we get into the NBA topics for today, brother.
NBA Central, what's going on, man? I'm just a regular dude. I mean, I've known Haize for I lost count of how long we've known each other. We've done so many different podcasts across hundreds of episodes. In regards to NBA, I've been watching the NBA since I was a kid. Knicks fan. I know this is blasphemy right now because we have a Bulls fan, and we have a Knicks fan, and then but it is what it is. And yeah, man, I'm just an overall fan of NBA and hyped to talk some basketball with you.
For sure, man. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. First off, LeBron James, man. LeBron James is having one of the worst seasons of his career. Averaging still, I mean, let's be clear. Even though it's worse for LeBron James, it's still he's still almost averaging a triple-double. But outside of that, we're seeing him average his lowest true shooting percentage, lowest efficiency, highest turnover rate, all since his rookie year. What do you think about the decline? Are we truly seeing the decline of LeBron James?
As a proud LeBron hater, I'm so happy to see this. I'll give him the respect what respect is due. At his age, the fact that he's still doing what he's doing, we have to give him credit, all jokes aside. But he's rapidly declining. And what's making it seem even more eminent to the forefront is he doesn't have the help that he needs. LeBron can't do it all by himself at this point of his career. And he unfortunately doesn't have the help he needs. And he's not helping things by having 4 turnovers a game and things like that. So, that's where that stands. He needs the help.
And as much as I'm not a big LeBron guy either. Well, on the basketball court, off the basketball court, I rock with everything LeBron does. But the way that I look at it is that while he doesn't have the help around him, I think that what we're seeing is not only a decline from LeBron, but also the fact that you have to now build a team differently around LeBron. Before, it was you get him another superstar or two, you fill him around shooters, and everything else he'll make work out. At this point now, he needs more ball handlers. He needs more people that can create off the dribble. LeBron's still a damn good player, and he's gonna be that probably until he retires. But I just think if the Lakers want to have success, they're gonna have to really revamp that team. I don't know if that happens this season. I know there's been rumors of some deals being on the table, but at the end of the day, it's just like, hey, he's 37 years old, and while that's not old in real life, listen, he's about to turn 38. Sometimes you just got to hang him up, brother.
He got a lot of mileage on that body, and like I said, it's still remarkable for some things he's doing. But he needs to have shooters, and he doesn't have shooters. And I honestly don't see them getting any help for him. They just don't have the assets. No one wants West. They just don't have the assets. Don't have the shooters. So Lakers are in a lot of trouble right now, and it's gonna be interesting to see if Pelinka still has a job at the end of the season.
What didn't they just extend Pelinka too? Like, didn't he get an extension when LeBron got an extension? Something like that. I don't know, man. Pelinka's like, and this is the thing that I always hazard other like fans against. When everybody has this mindset, oh, just trade all the young people and just bring in whoever. Now it really affects your future big time. The Lakers, for example, don't even have their own first round pick, I don't think, this year. And when you look at all the young talent that they sent out over the years, Kuzma, Ingram, Lonzo, like. I'm not saying that they should have kept all of them, but if you would have kept 1 to 2 of them, it completely changes the outlook on how you need to build your team.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, and I get it. They won a championship, a couple seasons ago, but and you can't take that away from them. But at what length? Now, like they're screwed for the next couple of years at least. So I don't know. I talked to some Lakers fans, and they're absolutely okay with what's going on because they have that one championship. But I just wouldn't do it.
I mean, they mortgaged every bit of their future, and then Anthony Davis on top of that. He just like he's still putting up numbers as well, but he just looks like a regular dude now, bro. It's just crazy to see the decline of that team, bro. And what did it all crumble in 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, again, Street Clothes Davis is another one. I mean, he is so much talent, but just unfortunately all these injuries. And I was watching the game last night at the time of this
Mhm.
recording. I was watching the game last night, and every time this dude even moves a little awkwardly, my heart jumps to beat. I'm like, oh, he's done for the season. That's how it is to that point now.
It definitely is to that point, and it's really unfortunate because it's like, hey man, like but you reap what you sow, right? The Lakers did what they wanted to do. They reap what they sow, and it kind of is what it is at this point. You got to deal with it, move the fuck on. That's really what it boils down to. But talking about moving on, let's move on ourselves to the next topic. This next one up, what's been more? If I would have told you coming into the season that one of the 76ers or the Portland Trailblazers, one team would have been 1-4 and the other would have been 4-1, which one would you have guessed?
Honestly, I'm shocked by the Blazers because if you look at it, Philadelphia, don't get me wrong, they're still a good team. I don't consider them a top 3 team in the East, but the teams they've played thus far, the Celtics, the Bucks, the Raptors, these are good teams. Spurs, I know Spurs, they're looking not too bad themselves. So the kind of schedule they've had in this first week has been tough. So I expect a little bit of what's going on. The Blazers, though, they're doing amazing. I mean, obviously now Dame Lillard's hurt, so things might change a little bit with him having the calf injury, and he's going to be out about a week or two. But Anthony Simmons is looking good. Grant was a great pickup for them. So, yeah, I'm definitely shocked with the Blazers, absolutely, with the way they've started.
The Blazers, like the thing with the Blazers is, and the way that I look at it is that I think sometimes we think ourselves into this box of like, oh, well, this player is on the decline. This player can't stay healthy. This player can't do this. Like Dame has come in immediately in this season and just said, hey, no, y'all forgot what Dame time is. Let me remind y'all real quick. And the 76ers, I think the 76ers for my like, while I'm more shocked that the 76ers are 1-4, I think they're going to be this year's Boston Celtics, where they're coming out the gate struggling. I think they're going to pull it together by midway through the season. I don't know if they're going to be like the clear number one team in their conference like Boston became, but I do think they're going to eventually be able to pull it together.
Definitely make the playoffs and all that. I just don't see them as a top 3 team. And speaking on Lillard, I'm a huge Lillard fan. I wish that his mindset was a little different. I understand the loyalty and everything. I just wish, though, that he'd maybe find somewhere else to where he can have a chance to win a title. Because I don't, unfortunately, even with what they have, I don't see it happening.
Yeah. Not that I disagree with you there. I definitely like the common mindset would tell you that they're not gonna be able to pull it together. But like, you never know, right? The fact of the matter is this team is playing much better together than I thought that they would on paper. I didn't know how Jeremy Grant was going to work out for them. All it takes at this point, like what they've shown so far, who knows what disgruntled superstar may pop up this season. We got a lot of teams that aren't as good as what they think. I'm not going to say that Portland never gets a title with Dame. It's very, very unlikely, but you just never know, bro. And you just never know what player that's chasing the ring may say, hey, man, listen, I didn't think of it before, but is Dame healthy? Yeah, Dame's healthy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to Portland. Trade me to Portland. There's a chance.
Do you think it hurts Dame and the Blazers that they're in such a small market that a superstar might be like Portland? Who wants to play for Portland?
I mean, that's the thing. Everything is good for that. Would have to lynch upon Dame being Dame and this team continuing to play above what people think. And it would only be, I don't think anybody's going to sign a long-term, except Dame Lillard, contract to stay in Port. Oh shit, we're live. I thought we were recording.
I just saw.
Wow. Nonetheless, but I think it would take a star, right, or somebody who has maybe a year, 2 left on their contract, and they want to compete. They force their way out. Their way out. I just don't see anybody being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sign a 5-year max level contract to go stay in Portland for 5 years."
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what we get out of Portland. I hope for Dame's sake, though, at least he has at least a shot.
I love Dame. I really do love Dame, and shout out to his loyalty, man. But he may be the modern day. What was I about to say? When Carmelo just didn't leave the Knicks. when he could have left and gone to Houston. He could have gone to Chicago, whatever. I just hope that that's not Dame's future, man. Because I really do like Dame Lillard, and I've liked him literally since his rookie season, man.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move right along, brother. Ben Simmons is the next one up on the list, man. I will tell you this, right? I said it over on Bull Central when I was doing it. The player movement in the NBA has been rising. And I love the fact that this summer, Kevin Durant tried to force his way out and then said, hey, no, okay, it's either me or Steve Nash. And I love the fact that Brooklyn's ownership looked Kevin Durant in the face and said, no, you signed a contract with us. We're only going to send you away if the deal is advantageous for us. But I wonder now if they wish they would have just gone full rebuild, traded Kyrie, traded Kevin Durant, because this team does not look good. And Ben Simmons is playing terrible right now. So
here's the thing. I don't think they would have done things differently because let me tell you, at the end of the day, as crazy as this sounds, basketball is not about winning championships. It's about revenue. And it's a business at the end of the day. Yes, championships is great, and that can help build revenue. But if you count all the jersey sales and merch they're making off of KD, Kyrie, all these dudes, I'm sure they're making millions of dollars off their revenue, off their merch. So this way, in terms of this team, you see, I mean, they're like what, 1-3, 1-4. I do think they'll eventually level off, and I think they're in a way better shape than the Lakers are, and I think they'll get it together. My thing with Ben Simmons is I don't have hate for Ben Simmons, and I think the reason people have hate for Ben Simmons is their outlook on him. So if you look at Ben Simmons, an elite player, sure, he's terrible. I don't look at Ben Simmons as an elite player. So I look at a hard guy. That's just how I look at him. So for a mid-card guy, he's absolutely fine. I don't look at it as an elite top, guard in the league. I just don't see it.
What do you think about the experiment of playing him in power forward? Do you think that they eventually have to move off from that? Do you think that they need to continue that and see it through? What do you think?
I don't like that move. I think keep him at guard. I mean, they've tried it. It's Ben Simmons. I don't think anything is going to work. Honestly, they could try him at all 5 positions, just not going to work. I know that sounds terrible, but it is what it is. I mean, some people got and some people don't. And I understand he's also coming off an injury. He hasn't played in a whole season. He has some rust. It's just that I've never been a big fan of him, unfortunately.
I mean, and that's fair. I mean, he's having the worst defensive rating of his career. For his career, he averages 105 defensive rating, which is really, really good. This season so far, only 4 games, so it kind of is what it is, 118.4. That is a monumental fall off defensively. Ben Simmons, while I don't think anybody expected him to come in and be the shooter, that he worked on his game to do that type of thing. But the things that makes this concerning and makes this regression feel real for Ben Simmons is the fact that he's just not doing the things that he did excel at. Ben Simmons was a great passer. He was a great distributor. He was a solid defender. Those were the things that Ben Simmons really built his game and his name on. Now he's not. And I get it. A year out of basketball will do that a lot to people. That's why I try to temper people's expectations when it comes to Lonzo Ball coming back this season. But this is bad, bro. This is bad.
Well, that's the alarming thing for me. If you're out for a while, I get it. You might be rusty when shooting. I feel defense is something you don't really lose. It's always with you. The fundamentals are always with you. And that's the alarming thing. The one thing that he's known for and solid at, he doesn't have it right now. And I don't know how he can get there. And with that missing piece, it's going to make it hard for Brooklyn to win. Yes, they have KD. Yes, they have Kyrie. But they need him. They need him. And it doesn't look like he gels well with the team. So I don't even know what they're going to do there and how that's going to work and where they're going to put him.
Everything about this move, right, on paper, and I had been saying it for a while, like I think I talked myself into when Ben Simmons was initially traded to the Nets, I was like, okay. And then over the summer, I'm like, well, you know what? Having another ball handler, Kyrie being able to play more off the ball, what Ben Simmons can do passing, his defense, things like that. And they have other shooters on this team and Seth Curry and things like that. I was like, all right, this may work out. But then when you watch the basketball on the floor, they have no chemistry together, which 4 games into the season, okay, let's wash that away. KD doesn't, not that I'm going to say KD is like falling off, but doesn't seem like KD. I don't know if it's just that he doesn't want to be there. Kyrie and Ben Simmons out there on the court together, it's a net zero, bro. Like, the Nets overall, my team's in the Eastern Conference. I don't give a damn if they play good or not. But just for the interest of the conversation about basketball, this team on paper should work better than what we're seeing, and they could very well figure it out. I'm going to ask you this, JB. Shows you where my head's at. Let me ask you this. If you had a bet on one team figuring it out, the Sixers or the Brooklyn Nets in the Eastern Conference, which team do you think figures it out and salvages their season?
I'm positive Sixers at the end of the season has a better record than the Nets. 100% positive.
Do the Nets make the playoffs? Are they a play-in team?
I think it's hard to go against KD. I know last year was a different story. Mm-hmm. I do think they make the playoffs, whether it's through play-in or they actually make a top 6 or whatever. I do think they make the playoffs. I don't think they go anywhere. They'll be lucky if they get past the first round, to be honest with you. I don't care who they play. It's just, from what I'm seeing right now. And when you're talking about two amazing players like KD and Kyrie, that's a weird thing to say, but that's what it is right now. There's just you said it, there's no cohesiveness right now.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll see who ends up working that out. But like Ben Simmons, man, at this point, I'm like, if they have to eventually just move Ben Simmons to the bench. Let him be the main person off the bench. Let him work into his game, much like my team, unfortunately, is doing with Patrick Williams. Let him find his rhythm back being out there, because then at that point, if he's coming off the bench, you can do everything through Ben Simmons, kind of force feed him into getting back in rhythm and seeing if it works that way. That's really the only way that I see it changing for them. But again, I've been wrong before. I'm sure I'm going to be wrong in the future. But right now, I'm not really concerned. I have nothing for Ben Simmons. I have nothing for Ben Simmons, bro.
Hey, my team is in the East, so every time the Nets lose, I can only smile. I mean, I'm a Knicks fan, so.
Well, not only is your team in the East, you guys share a city.
We don't share a city. To me, they'll always be from New Jersey. So I was born in Brooklyn, but I don't recognize them as a New York team.
That's fair. Your team. That's a perfect segue into the next topic. Your team is 3-1 on the season. I have been very vocal in saying, yeah, they added Jalen Brunson, but they're probably still going to be a 39-win team. The one thing that I've seen in Brunson so far that I didn't know, because he's played with Luka, is just how good of a passer Jalen Brunson is. Averaging 8.5 assists per game. That point guardsmanship has been on display way more than I gave credit for Jalen Brunson. So I'm going to throw this to you. How do you feel about Jalen Brunson and the addition to your team, the $100+ million that they spent on him? And then how has that changed now your outlook for your team overall from last season? In the New York Knicks, by the way. If you don't know, he's a Knicks fan. That's what we're talking about. Go ahead.
Knicks winning the title in 6 games. No, I'm just kidding. Now, honestly, I from the very talking about Jalen Brunson, I was really happy. I saw what he did with Dallas. He couldn't shine as much because obviously him and Luka, they share things, but we haven't had a floor general in such a long time, a true point guard in such a long time. And this is exactly what this team needed. Not only do we have a true point guard, but he's shown in multiple games. He hits clutch shots. When they played the Grizzlies, he hit that 3 to go to OT. He hit some clutch shots yesterday. When we played the Hornets. And like you said, we haven't had a great passer like that in a long time. So what he brings to this team is great. And please, let's stop all that blasphemy on 39 wins.
It's more than that. Yeah.
No, definitely. I would say we're making the playoffs. All I'm looking for is let's make the playoffs, and if we could try to see if we can get past round 1. That's my expectations. If we do that, I'm happy with that.
The thing that also I think that the addition of Jalen Brunson has done for the Knicks that I don't think a lot of people thought would happen is Julius, while still not back to the heights he was a couple of seasons ago, where people were like, hey, man, this dude's a franchise player. Julius Randle has played much better now with a ball handler like Jalen Brunson out there with him. We're seeing Julius Randle, like I said, not get quite back to those statistics that he had a couple of seasons ago, but he is playing damn good right now. Basketball, 20 points per game. He has a PER of 18.6, 3 assists, 8.8 rebounds, 1.3 steals. Julius Randle is balling. The combination of him, Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, how do you feel about that being your core now for the future?
I'm absolutely happy with that core. RJ, he still has some work to do. The problem he's always had from day one is he can get to the rim like anybody else. It's just that the finish he still has not got that down, and he has. I'm hoping this is the year that he gets it. He's one of the main problems with RJ coming out of college was he's a terrible free throw shooter, and he's done amazing so far this season. Something he really worked on the off season. So his free throws are great, but I love our core, and outside of this core, we still have some great pieces. I mean, we still have D Rose off the bench. We have Quickly, who hasn't got it going yet. Grimes is currently injured at the moment. We have a solid squad. So we have Obi Toppin, we have Cameron, big game a couple of games ago.
Big game. 38-point game or something like that.
It was about 30. I don't think it was 38, but it was definitely over 30. And you give someone like that some minutes, any one of these guys can go off on any given night. It was Jew or nothing. But now Julius just has to do everything by himself. And I like the fact that he's playing off the ball, because him running the ball was not a good thing. He had so many turnovers, and it's just too much for him. So I'm so glad for Jalen Brunson.
How many games are you giving into Isaiah Hartenstein takes over the starting center position from Mitchell Robinson? We've already seen a handful of games in which Mitchell Robinson's had like 5. They've only played a handful of games. I'm exaggerating, but we've seen sometimes where Mitchell Robinson does sit down, and Isaiah Hartenstein is getting more minutes than Mitchell Robinson in a couple of games. Do you think he eventually takes that starting center position?
I don't. And within the Knicks circle with fans, this guy is a huge crowd favorite. Hartenstein's a huge crowd favorite. And anytime you come to New York and you play hard like that, you're going to get recognized. But for the kind of money we're paying for Mitchell Robinson, his ass needs to start. And let's be real. I mean, Mitchell Robinson, yeah, he might not be the greatest scorer, but this guy can block. So, his defense and what he does inside the paint on defense is something that we need. Yeah, it's nice to have Hartenstein. That was such a good pickup because we needed somebody as a backup. So I don't see him starting. Will Tibbs maybe try something every now and then? Maybe, but as a normal thing, I don't see that happening.
The reason why I asked about Isaiah Hartenstein starting, right, is that while they're playing Mitchell Robinson more, not considerably much more, it's about $3 million more, but you know that from somebody who Tibbs coached my team. Tibbs loves big men who can pass. Mitchell Robinson isn't that good. He's a really good shot blocker, great rebounder, but Isaiah Hartenstein's ability to add another passer out there. Now they have Jalen Brunson, so maybe they don't need it. I just think that, and the defensive metrics, Mitchell Robinson does the eye-popping things, the blocks, things like that better. But Isaiah Hartenstein is so much better of an efficient defender that I wonder if that's why I asked that question, if that eventually gets him, the combination of those two things gets him into that starting lineup at some point.
The other thing I would have to think about is how Mitch would work with that second unit, because that second unit, they just fly, man. They fly, and Hartenstein fits in perfect with that. Mitch is not that type of guy, so I don't know if he gel well with the second unit, but I'm sure before the season's over, we'll see Hartenstein with some starting positions and some starting time, and we'll see how that goes.
So while we're on the show, and people who know that me and JB are actually like friends, this is real life. This is my brother here. If I ever have more kids, he'll be their godfather. Let's go ahead and do a friendly wager, man. Who's going to have the better record, the Knicks or the Bulls?
Are you serious? Obviously, the Knicks.
Obviously the Knicks. All right, how about let's do this? If the Bulls finish with a better record than the New York Knicks, I need you to wear a Cristiano Felicio jersey on an episode.
I'll do it. What do I get? What do I get?
Okay, if your team, what do you want to pick it? If your team has a better record than mine, go ahead and pick it.
Anything?
Go ahead. I mean, it's not something completely outrageous, you motherfucker.
I'm not because
I see that. Shave my bro. Fuck no, that ain't never. What the fuck? Come on, bro. You more than likely to get me to shave my pubes online and shave my beard. Come on now, bro. You know that's part of it. You were here when I initially grew the beard. That's how long me and you have been friends, bro. When me and you first met, I hadn't even thought about the beard, bro.
We started growing our beards together, and then I fell off. You
were there at the birth of the red bearded assassin. Did you come up with that nickname, or was it Bello? That was
Bello.
That was Bello. Okay.
I was the one that came up with the skills that pays the bills.
That's what it was. Yeah, you're right. But all right. What's your wager? If the Knicks finish with a better record than the Bulls, what is it?
You have to wear some sort of Knicks apparel that I'll come up with.
All right.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. All right, fair. We'll see.
Might be a dress.
A Knicks dress? Anyway. And be on the lookout. Once the Knicks and the Bulls play each other too, I'm gonna have you on a post game show. That's fucking crazy, bro. The fact that you think that bullshit ass franchise will have a better record than the Bulls, you know.
What are you guys gonna do? Really? You think DeMar's gonna do everything?
Beat you? Have you watched us this season? DeMar isn't even doing everything. And even with that, yes, on the Knicks, absolutely. In Madison Square Garden, he's killing y'all every single time.
When's the first game? Do you know?
No, I can look it up real quick. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, because they're gonna have interesting games though. I think we'll definitely be fighting for one of those 6 spots. Absolutely.
Oh, we got a home and home. We don't play each other until December. We have technically back to back. Wednesday, December 14th. I will not. That's actually a couple of days after I leave. So Wednesday, December 14th, and Friday, December 16th, and then again December 23rd. And then is that it? Just 3 times this season? That's
all in December. That's interesting.
Yeah. So all in really the span of a week and a half. All our games in a week and a half. So we will know. We'll be talking a lot of shit to each other because your bullshit ass franchise. How dare you, bro?
By then, you guys will be tanking for what's his name?
For Victor Wembanyama. Come on now, bro. Y'all would be tanking for Victor Wembanyama. Y'all trade Julius Randle, trade James Dolan, everybody just for Victor Wembanyama.
I wish we could trade James. Even if we tanked, we still would screw it up somehow. Let's be real.
Oh, the moment, like with the Kings, the moment the Knicks decide, oh, we're gonna go ahead and tank, y'all win every game for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I know. That's how it goes.
But all right, let's move into the last topic for today, brother. We're going to talk about the Warriors. The Warriors, who are another team that's been on we would say surprising slide so far this season. They're 2-2, 500. It kind of is what it is. But the thing that's concerning with them isn't just their record. It's that their defense is fucking atrocious. They are allowing 124 points per game. The absence of Gary Payton the second or the third, whichever one it was, I forgot which room was after his name. A veteran and Otto Porter Jr. as well, who while they weren't like big time scorers or anything for the team, they did play very good system defense. You replace them with younger players that just aren't. Is Gary Payton the reason why you guys are like the defensive slide, or is it more than that? Tell me, what do you think about Golden State Warriors in this slide?
I mean, I do feel that it is a huge loss. He was their best perimeter defender, but everyone's always saying, it's GP. A very big name that a lot of people aren't talking about. That's Otto Porter. Otto Porter was a very big part to this team because when he's in on the lineup, when they played small ball, he was like their big man and he could still shoot. Without him, they really don't have that big man shooter anymore. So it kind of changes things up a little bit. And they're definitely on the decline. I mean, last year they were in terms of defensive rating, they were number 1, 106.9. This year they're in 22nd. I know it's early in the season, 114.8. That's terrible. Crazy. That is crazy. The good news is Kerr is really smart. We know that. I do think they'll eventually figure it out. Klay Thompson is a great defender. They have Draymond. They just need to figure it out. But right now they're giving up way too many points. I don't care how many points you can score. If you can't stop somebody, that's not. I mean, the Kings dropped like 125 on them. That's nuts.
Like giving up 124 points per game is bananas, bro. Like that's wild, bro. Jesus Christ, man. I don't even know.
Some 2K shit.
You know what? That is exactly what it is, bro. Like they right now are giving up the most points in the league. Not by that much either. Surprisingly, the Memphis Grizzlies are giving up 123.8 points per game. That's bananas too, bro. That I didn't think. But outside of those, like, that's crazy, man. That's wild.
So crazy though. Not to kind of change topics. In the days in the 90s, someone touched 100. It was like, whoa, they scored 100 points. Now people are the Knicks almost got 100 points in 3 quarters, and this is the Knicks. Now people getting 100 points in 3 quarters. It's crazy how much offense has changed, obviously with the 3 ball and the way things are being done now. But man, the NBA has changed so much from like the 90s.
Oh yeah,
and
the
golden era.
When we were younger and kids, like you would literally tune into a game, and in the fourth quarter it would be like 78 to 70, and it'd be like, damn, they're scoring tonight.
Yeah, exactly, for real.
But now it's like if you tune into an NBA game and both teams are sub 100 with like 5 or 8 minutes left, you're like, hey man, why haven't they scored? What's happening? Why are they shooting so bad tonight? It's crazy how things have changed. Like Yeah, like it's wild. The game has definitely changed, brother. But that's it, man. That's it on the list today. Anything else that's going on with the NBA this early into the season, kind of the first week and a half, 2 weeks of the season, that has surprised you before we go?
Not really. Really good games so far. Some tight games, some OT games. Game winners and stuff.
We know you like.
I'm already this first week. Are we really gonna go there on episode 1? Can at least we move a little bit slow so these people can learn about me first?
No, Joe, just spit on it and keep it moving.
I'm gonna keep it moving. No, but basically what we got out of this first week, I love it. I love it, and I do love it tight. Yes.
Fair enough. Utah Jazz, Larry Markkanen's play there. You gonna what?
I said, how about
Malika Andrews? Listen, bro.
No. Malika Andrews.
Malika, that's what I said. Malika Andrews. What the fuck did you think I said?
I don't know what you said.
But yeah, like Malika Andrews can get the whole entire thing. That's all I got to say on that one.
Malika Andrews or
Malika Andrews mainly because of the lip situation. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Got it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
what else is left? What else is left? This is just a appetizer of what this is going to be like when you and I are podcast.
I think people who've only seen me on Chicago Bulls Central and like haven't gone and checked out My Brother's Keeper, haven't checked out the Film Frequency to see how it is when me and you together are going to be in for a hell of a show on this show, and that's all I got to say about that.
All in, no Vaseline.
Because listen, the way that Malika Andrews' lip drips melanin, I don't think you need Vaseline. I think you just absorb the melanin from her lip. You know what? Let's go ahead and go. JB, go ahead and give me your social media, bro. Let's get the hell up out of here, man, before we get canceled.
Off my Twitter. So you can reach me on Twitter at the P1JB. That's at THEP1JB. Get at me.
There you go, man. Make sure you guys follow him. We're going to be tuned in. You can catch us here on NBA Central 3 days a week. This is my best friend here, man. I can't wait to get this show cracking. I told you guys there was going to be something special about NBA Central to separate it, and there goes the special right there, even though he's a bitch-ass Knicks fan. But you guys can follow me at CEO Haize, at CEO Haize. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.